Greetings, everyone. Wherever you are in the world today, you're on the new way. And if it's the new way, we get into dairy products, and we don't want to do that. I'm here with Harris. We'll be joined by other folks if they come in. And welcome to life in the 24th year of the 21st century. Buck Rogers would be thrilled. Okay, Harris, let's get on with where we were for our conversation.
Yeah. Uh, Hello, Lizzie.
Hi.
Hi,
Can you
welcome.
can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes, if you can turn up your mic, that would be great. But if you can't, we can still hear you.
That's as loud as it can get, but I can put this on.
Okay.
Great. So we
Sometimes
were this.
it ends.
Mhm.
Depends on the site whether I need or not to have headphones. Okay, I'll leave you guys to it. I'm quietly here.
We are virtually not alone. Okay, Harris, where were we?
Yeah, actually, we are discussing a bit about, uh, let's call it your idea, your big idea around groups and how we can even start thinking about the various metrics. We discussed shortly that idea from chemistry of something called valence, and you were explaining how it actually works. It might actually work in practice. Let's say in terms of this valence game. So
Okay. So we have a group of four people in a conversation, each one representing a different one of these group organizations. And we have agendas that are similar, and we have a moderator who is the only person who really has the agenda for the meeting. And we record the meeting for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. And then we ask the participants within the meeting both to rate how the meeting went and choose one person from their meeting to represent that group of four in bringing it all together. And then you have one more quad group of four with a moderator that starts with two of the same questions and then introduces a couple of new questions and makes people think on their feet. And then at the end of that, you take it, put it in the can, repeat the process. But as people get more idea of how it works, the topics can broaden and the topics can deepen, and players from different games can be called on to join other good players and work it so that we have an information exchange that is entertaining, that provides prizes of value to the groups that participate. And the groups become a larger group for the purpose of the show, moving from that second order to third order. And that gives us a way of getting people who wouldn't know each other otherwise to be in conversation in a way that was somewhat entertaining on the way to getting to larger community. Because I don't think we can go from where we are now to community at any level of a lot of participation with the way people think right now. And it's not so much that we need groupthink. We don't need groupthink. We don't need people on the same page, but we do need them playing politely by the same rules and having a means of harvesting what is coming out of that, which will be done by AI with programmed bots. And even though I'm not fond that much of bots participating by providing us information, I have no reason to fear bots participating by counting the number of times somebody speaks or how politely they pass the mic when it's their time to shut up and turn over the talking feather, and other things in that sort of arrangement.
That's great, Doc. I actually got the chance to participate during the last few months into some Zoom meetings, and we also got the chance, let's say, to have an AI assistant bot also within us, within, let's say, the chat. And at the end of the meeting, it generated a report that had to do with all those metrics, like how many times each one got to speak, how lively was the conversation, and some other metrics that have to do with emotions and all of that. And of course, the greatest, let's say, function of such an AI bot in terms of Zoom meetings or meetings in general is the topic summarization. So you can extract those topics that got discussed, and you can use them. For example, you can create, let's say, chapters on your video that you are going to upload on YouTube or other, topics. So.
It's one of those things where tracking small groups is fairly easy because there's only up to 5 people. And thank you, Don. When there's less than 5 people, it's a filling out process. Anybody can jump in and talk. It works to mesh the group and allow different people to get to working with each other. At the second order, what I've found is that people don't quite have it together on how to interact with a group of people that large, and they're either tripping over each other by cutting themselves off or allowing somebody to run on too long and not breaking in because that seems polite. So it really is important to have somebody running a meeting when you get to that second order. And at this point, what I'm measuring in my notebooks is a new second order group that has had 14 meetings on film as Zoom meetings put out on YouTube. And I'm now up to the 10th one of recording quantitation notes and sort of giving an outline of what was said and who said it to gauge participation, but just counting the number of people in the room. And it will grow from there because there's other rooms that are watching behind the main room and other things going on. And so I want to get to that third level, but I don't quite have it envisioned yet. But I envisioned the fourth level of community before I envisioned the third level because I knew people would go there real quick, and the group did do that. Greetings, Bruce. Welcome to our world.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
What is this world again? The new way, whether you know way it or not.
Welcome, Bruce.
Yes.
It's good. It's good to see you, Harris. And your name is Lizzie.
Lizzie?
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad I get your name right because I forget names all the time.
Oh, don't worry. I forget names all the time too.
Well, yeah, but I've got this friend. I've known him for over 40 years, right? I ran into him at a bus stop the other day. This is a really good friend of mine. It was almost a week ago. I still don't remember his name.
All good. All good.
Oh,
I'm terrible with names, but as long
I
as we
wish it wasn't all
recognize.
good, you know. All right, you guys, listen. I'm delighted to join you, and I'll be right back. I've got a partial drink made here, and I want to pour a little mixers in there. Okay,
Okay.
I'll be back.
I'm sure you will. When Bruce gets back, we will continue at the Center for Loquacious Verbiage.
Okay.
But
I'll sit here quietly because you are covering all that so well. I don't know even how to join into that one at the moment, but I'm enjoying listening.
Well, as we have a group of 4 here, that's the same equivalent to a group of 3 in my Fibonacci terminology. It doesn't matter whether it's 3 or 4, since 3 goes to 5, there is no real 4.
Yeah.
And the resonance between people is a function of each person's contribution into this group at this level. When you get to 5 or more people in the group, it becomes a group that should have a purpose rather than just being to get to know each other and to discuss situations. Although purposes are funny because a lot of times things have a purpose and it's not known to the players who are playing what the purpose actually is. But my purpose is to set up a way of balancing equations at human scale so that we can score events of conversations based on participation levels and the volume of knowledge generated, both qualitative and quantitative, with the idea being that people can discuss things with people of their own knowledge base and ability, and we can work things out at all different levels at once and compress the amount of time that would take to get everybody together, sit around, talk something through, and then vote on it. But we're not going to vote. We're just going to keep forming groups of people who come to consensus, and representing those groups come to more consensuses. We're going back to those groups also.
Energetic flow. Energetic flow, yeah.
It really is a matter of flowing on energy.
Yeah, energetic flow.
Today is mass forming. On my personal 64-day calendar that I use to surf the world these days. And so there's 8 concepts in my calendar: mass, form, flow, power, love, sound, mind, and void. And they get taken in permutations of 2. And when it comes to mass, I try and collect what I have to work with, and then I form it together and try and get something flowing. And by the time we're in flow this month, this group of 64 grid, it'll be the equinox. And so I'm planning something for equinox.
That is brilliant because I was actually thinking about the flow before I join you, and about the liquid flow that sometimes we form without even realizing, yeah, the liquid flow of our consciousness, and about the equinox. I always like to travel to some of the stone circles, and I flow into the energy of the stone circles, connect with it because it gets quite high at the time. Most of them being built on energy lines, yeah, so ley lines. So it actually goes quite well into what you're saying in different formats, but it's still always the flow, the energetic flow.
Well, Laney and I both have this really fairly close friend. His name is Dan Shaw, and he is an expert in regards to ley lines and how how the all the energy of the earth fits together. It's really interesting. You know, I spent a lot of
Absolutely.
time with Dan. I slept on his couch. I mean, because when I had nowhere to live.
Absolutely. These things, they have been around for a long time, yeah, and they purposely were built on the ley lines for reasons. And the ley lines, they like everything, have got positive and negative, but they also have been interfered with. So when you actually go on to these places, uh, depending on what time of the year and depending also of your own personal flow, you can interact with it to an amazing extent. It kind of it goes into the energy point of what everything is, yeah, and you can literally almost fuse into the energy, atoms and everything, and it all splinters into a timeless uh, happening. Yeah, there's no time, no space, no anything. There's just there that now that is present, flowing, and all of it flows in together. It's really beautiful.
That's lovely, Lizzie. That's really lovely.
I've had this. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that I think that we all feels that energy, and we are uh, let's just say energized to some degree by that energy. You know, here we are. Like down. These little. We're just little bugs on the surface of the planet. That's all we are.
But the energy frequencies that each of us bring tie in with each other and increase the level of the frequency of the group together. And so I think that once we get to higher order groups with higher frequencies, we will be able to look at the same problems that are boggling mankind now and come to some fairly easy fixes if we can look at the flow of energy dynamics and the balance of mass equations and just develop ways where people can interact with each other socially different from when they're working in functional groups and trying to get things done. But we got to be polite and we have to base things on love and we have to listen to other people when they talk about things to get it understood what they're saying so that everybody who's in a group at this sort of level, like we're talking about here, is represented at every higher group in the chain so that nothing gets to steamroll all us people anymore. Because right now, the whole system is a steamroller system.
where the soul sensing feeling is steamroll.
I really, yeah, I really like what you said about the frequencies. That, as I understand it, every one of us has a particular frequency or a tone, and when we get together in a nice group like now, we get to play a chord. So the frequency is different and it vibrates, let's say, at a whole other level. So that's beautiful.
Absolutely. That is what some of the natives would have called waving, because in different languages we sometimes separate the waving with it's wave. A wave comes and a wave goes, but it's always waving. Yeah, the wave never has a start nor an ending. When you look at the ocean, the frequency, the energy always is there below or above the surface, on different levels, including on the etheric level, when the wave is at its height and it forms the foam, which still is the frequency of the wave, but going onto the etheric level. Yeah.
And we have our cosmic surfboards, and we're riding the top of that wave, getting all the great energy.
Absolutely.
Cowabunga, baby!
We're cosmic surfers.
Cosmic surfing. Yeah, fuck yeah. Cowabunga, baby.
But I agree with what Lenny was saying. Because even if we don't speak the same language, we can speak the same frequency. Yeah.
Oh, no question about it. No.
Because
I've been to foreign nations where I can't speak the lingo, and I communicate with people energetically.
yeah, frequency. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you know if that frequency is mismatching or not, even without the spoken word. You know, you can go in a very busy street, and you're walking down the busy street, and someone walks, even if it's far from you, but it walks in the same frequency or a frequency that resonates with your frequency, and you look around because your inner senses are tuning in. Where is that? What did I just feel? Yeah. It's a bit like the girl from Ipanema song. Because as she
How does that go
walks, you
the
can
rest of it
feel
when
it.
she walks by? Oh, that's such a great song.
Yeah. Oh, I it's a classic.
It will be interesting to see how we can integrate entertainment and education at the next levels up, because that way the people who participate get a learning experience by being along for the ride. And if we play the cards right, we can have collective learning experiences that actually advance the nature of where we're coming from. And what I figure from looking at some of these Zoom meetings I've been to that have multiple people, it's like talking to the Brady Bunch all at once with everybody in their little squares. But the conversations they started off in one vein and they're drifting to other veins because people, as they come in, bring new ways of looking at things. And so I've noticed that as the conversation progresses along, the focus changes and it gets off track from the original focus. But I really think that that's part of emergent behavior, and that maybe it's not worth the time to try and drag it back, because if you let it go, you find out a lot more of what's going on and what you're looking for. And a lot of times, as a scientist, you learn to control the variables in an experiment and then turn on the experiment. But once you turn on the experiment, you monitor the variables, you don't change them anymore. And so I think a lot of what's going on is to develop experimentally mechanisms of putting together people who have similar knowledge to work out the veracity of that knowledge, because I really think we're not playing with a full deck right now, and there's more going on than we know, but we can't know anything more than what we've been told at this point, and we've each been told a different part of the story, which is likely true from our perspective, but might not be true from each other's perspectives.
Well, no, wait a minute. Now, we got 4 people here, and not everybody probably even knows what veracity means. How about you guys? Come on.
I know, Bruce, I know because my mother is called Vera.
Corvetta.
That's the only reason I know about that.
Wait. Harris, I love you, bro. What does that mean?
It means truth.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, veracity is truth. But the average individual in the United States of America doesn't really know what veracity really is. Lizzie, I figure you do too.
Yeah, well, I the way I see it is, well, everyone's knowledge is on a deep level, yeah, and we'll sometimes like to call it truth. But there's the surface knowledge which has been given to us, yeah, and we can call that truth as well. The truth given to us, yes, and we can live it, and we can take it upon us, and live a whole lifetime without doubting it, without questioning it, taking it in as you take the medicine in. Yeah, you take the medicine in. Yeah, that's okay. It's just a medicine. So you live that truth. But when you go within, when you question the frequencies, when you question yourself, then there is a deeper knowledge, and I say it, deeper knowledge, yeah, fractions of that word, because it is a deeper knowledge that is within everyone, yeah. It goes down to the DNA structure and beyond that, yes. And then what is true will resonate. What is not true will suddenly go almost out of view, yeah. And then what you see, perceive, and hold on to will be what your heart says. And as Lenny said, the love frequency. And the love frequency is what creates.
Did you have like some sort of an experience in South Africa?
South Africa? Why?
Yeah.
No.
You talk with my friends. You talk just like my friends from South Africa.
Okay.
Your accent is the same. You use that. You will pause and go yeah. Like just yeah. In your diction. And this is what my friends from South Africa did. Same thing. I'm just curious. I'm not being critical or anything.
No. That's fair enough. I lived in many places, and I've known many people. And yeah, I have. I went to school in Holland, so I've learned Dutch, and I do have a connection to Africa as well, but not necessarily South Africa. But yeah, I can speak a klein beetje of South Afrikaans if I have to.
It's interesting because the Dutch were really, you know, really important in South Africa. Really important in South Africa. And so your the way you speak. Don't mind me. I'm just noting something because you know, I've been so many places myself. I'm just noting something, and I think it's it's uh, it's all cool. It's all cool. You're cool, and my friends from South Africa were cool. You know, everybody was cool.
That's a good philosophy. Everybody's cool.
Well, these people sailed into my hometown, right? They
I
sailed
like that. I
into my
like that.
hometown, right? I come from Newport, Rhode Island. Newport, Rhode Island is a very, very historically incredibly place. I mean, I walk down to Washington Square on a regular basis. I walk down. This is my hood, okay?
Yeah.
This is my hood. My parents were born here. My grandparents were born here. Some of my grandparents were born here, and probably great. And I sometimes I walk downtown and I walk down to the Colony House, which used to be at one time the Capitol building of the original 13 colonies. And George Washington slept in that building. So did the Marquis de whatever he was, the guy from France, the Marquis. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing.
You see, the way I see it, you see, my
All
connection,
that, honey? What is all that shit that you're putting up there?
my
Sacred
connection.
geometry
Yeah, I was
from an
loving it.
oracle deck.
I was
Okay,
loving
fine.
it. The way I see it, you see, I know many people from many places, but I am from many places. Yeah, I have a place where I was born. I have many places where I grew up and learned. But I see the world as my oyster, yeah, as my home, our very own living spaceship that is traversing through space, yes. It's alive and it has got all of us, plant life, everything in it, frequencies of all sorts, and we are traversing through space in our very own, very beautiful spaceship.
People
So,
get all, people get all confused about religion, okay? They
oh,
get
I don't do religion.
well, and I imagine, listening to you, you're intelligent enough that I know that you don't really listen to religion. Okay, I'm speaking to, a vast majority of our society who I don't get into religion either. I mean, I could care less about, when I talk about God, and I talk about God periodically, every once in a while I go, God damn it, or whatever, or Jesus Christ, or whatever, I do that, you know. Hang on, Lenny. Hang on. I know you want to say something here, but I'm just gonna just let me finish. These are all gods from Earth. They're Earth gods. All right, they're Earth gods. Are created by human beings, which of course uh, uh, essentially demeans them to some degree because I mean, come on. What the fuck? We're this little tiny planet revolving around a little tiny yellow star, way the fuck out in the in the outskirts of the Milky Way galaxy, and there's 100 billion other galaxies out there, each one with 100 billion stars that could each have a planet that had what you might call intelligent life. And there's people who think we're the only intelligent life in the universe, which shows you how fucking stupid people really can be.
Different levels. levels of energy, different levels of frequency. Not stupid, just different levels. Yeah. What you have
I call
here
it
is
stupid.
different levels. No, just
I call
simply
it
different
stupid. But I
levels.
mean, no, I'm entitled to do that because I'm as intelligent as I am. Okay, and I have my own level of frequency, and anybody who sits in front of the fucking TV all day and absorbs all that trash and etc. is essentially brainwashed, and they become stupid. They become stupid. So let's just be honest about it. We might as well be honest about it, right? I mean, I'm not. It's not necessarily I'm not denigrating everybody on Earth, but I mean, let's be honest about it. People are fucking stupid.
I'm stupid and I'm proud.
Roger
I,
that, bro. That
I,
and that's exactly what I encounter so often. I'm stupid, and I'm not stupid, but they don't say that, but they sure as hell say they're proud. They're proud. They're proud of their opinion. Proud of it.
Yeah, well, different levels, different levels. You have to look at it if you want to look at it from a scientific point of view, you'll have to see at different levels of permeation, of understanding, of beingness, all of that, yes? So you cannot ask certain things from certain beings. Others will do something very beautiful in one way. Others are very beautiful in a different way. So uh, it's different levels of beingness, of existence, of many things. I mean, it's a very deep conversation here that we could go into.
Well, this we
I
can
think
break you all down to my
I'll
living
be,
room. I
I'll
got
be,
a fire going on right now, and I
sir.
keep wanting to leave. I keep wanting to leave because I love you guys, but I have a fire right now going, and I want to go down and I want to just look at my fire and tend my fire. I'm a fire keeper. I'm probably the only white man you'll ever know in your life that has been given the honor of being a fire keeper for a Lakota sweat lodge. Right? That's how many sweat lodges I've been into. So I'll tell you what. I'm gonna leave you, and I love you all, and have a good evening.
Okay.
Off he goes into the wild blue yonder.
I'm not sure if I tickled him with a feather, but
I wouldn't worry about it.
oh, I'm not.
Group theory says group theory is a big accordion. The group gets big, it gets small, it gets bigger, it gets smaller. But if it moderates growth and keeps getting bigger, you can measure that growth and it all does well.
um, I honor everyone. I have a lot of love for everyone, and I think love is truly the foundation of everything. Truly the foundation of everything. Divine love, yeah? Because again, there's so many different levels on the word love, and the word love has been misused and uh, understood in so many different ways. But I know you understand what I speak of, because when you spoke of it, you were speaking on the same energy level as I was.
I think there's a lot of misinterpretation of the word love.
Yeah.
That it's what the Eskimos have something like 63 different words that mean love in some way. And now we have what, 3? Maybe.
Mm.
But yeah, there's a lot of different loves that are just an approach to different things. And if you realize that everybody is the same, but each of us are completely different, and that's the dual nature of things, not that duality is people in opposition. So we shall see how it goes. Oh, look who's back.
Yeah, well, my fire was burning. I put another log in the fire, and I just thought I'd come back and see what you guys are doing. You know.
Well, put another log on the fire.
You're a fire starter, a terrific fire starter.
I'm a fire starter and a fire keeper.
And a pyromaniac, too.
Not necessarily a pyromaniac. You know. I mean,
I thought somehow I was throwing buckets on your fire for a minute.
no worries.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, because whatever I say, I always do with respect. Please do.
It's good to have you back, Bruce.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Harris. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look, you know, I got a really nice fire. I'm lucky to have a fireplace here in my house. It's down on the first floor. I have the whole second floor of this Victorian house, and it's filled with antiques and all kinds of stuff that it's all I got left in my life. You know, it's what I have left. That's what I have left. Lenny just took a token. I think I'm going to take one too, just to show Lenny that I can still do that shit. You know?
As long as he doesn't pay for it tomorrow.
Well, you know, I mean, actually, I didn't pay for it so much today, and I did it yesterday.
No, I'm at the point where I don't even notice how much I smoke. I just pick up the pipe, fire it up, and go. And I do one hit at a time, maybe 20, 30 minutes apart. And it keeps me in perpetually buzzed state.
Right.
And I can work in perpetually buzzed state with comfort because I've got a lot of practice at doing that. The one type of work I can't do in perpetually buzzed state is sorting. If I need to sort things out, I have to take a fresh day and spend it from the morning without getting myself adulterated so that when it comes time to sit down and sort, I can just do the sorting. Sort of like the alien in the post office in Men in Black 2. The big guy who was like half a guy with a little guy underneath him. It was really, really good.
All right. You know, how lucky are we that we're even in your presence?
Why? You chose to be here. No luck involved at all.
No, hey, listen, I'm just messing with you, Lenny. I've known you long enough that I can mess with you. Okay.
Okay.
You're one of my better friends in my entire life, which is rather. I've had so many friends. I've had so many friends, and I've been so many places, and you know, it's amazing to me. I've really had an extraordinary. I've had an extraordinary life. I really have, and I'm really lucky. You know, that I'm now kind of an old buck, and that I'm I've experienced what I've experienced. Not everybody gets to do this shit, you know. Yeah, not everybody. Yeah. Ooh, watch out.
Well, that's because we're on the cutting edge of reality.
The
And as
cutting
long
edge.
as we can continue to make it up as we go and keep ourselves entertained, we're also creating new resonant frequencies that other folks can appreciate, a cat just walked outside the window. But there's no cat that lives here. There's a lot of synchronicities in the world going on. And as we notice the synchronicities, we can notice the divergence of synchronicities. And in reality, I think we're in multiple times at the same time, and that the whole world is changing so quick that it's going to get away from us, change, and we're going to have to catch up and be here now. But for the moment, I don't want to push too hard on fixing anything, because they're just going to break it even more if we fix it. Let's come up with ideas of ways of how to do it and get those worked out on small scale, so that when the large scale comes, the kiddies can start telling us how they run the world. Because anybody who has a cat knows that that cat runs the world, and we're just here to be their servants. But go ahead.
honestly, I'm another devotee of cats, especially now because I got a rat running around in my house. A rat. There's a rat. Last night, this rat jumped up on my bed, ran across my legs, and jumped down off the bed. Come on, I mean, Lizzie, you're laughing, but I'm telling you, this fucking rat jumped up on my bed, right? And I've got a trap set. Like in the other room, the room I'm in now, the room that I spend my most time in, because it's the room that I got my the heater in. Because my son, he keeps the house at 55 degrees, which is pretty fucking cold for anybody. Not just me, anybody. I mean,
That would freak me out.
yeah, it was pretty freaky. Yeah, pretty freaky. And this is a rat that I've been trying to trap. I started trapping it, trying to trap it with mouse traps, but it's too big for a mouse trap.
They're very intelligent.
I got this big ass trap. Okay, this big ass standard issue, spring loaded trap, and I got it loaded with peanut butter.
They are very intelligent.
Well, I guess they are, because my good friend Lenny, he has his PhD in science in chemistry, and he suggested that I should, bait the trap with peanut butter. That's what I've done. I baited the trap with peanut butter. If I had a fucking camera, I'd take a picture of it and show it to you right now. But it's a fucking big trap. It's that big. Okay, it's really big, and it's spring loaded, and it's yeah. All right. You're all laughing at me now, and it's okay.
I'm not laughing at you. Don't take it in any format.
I'm okay with it. Okay, I'm okay with it.
I'm laughing at the situation. I've been in incredible situations myself, so I've got a sense of humor, which is called life sense of humor. And when I was saying they are intelligent, they are, very intelligent. They can figure us out, and they can figure traps out, and they can be incredibly difficult to capture.
Well, this one is a, I mean, there was another one that I had, and I called it Mighty Mouse, but this is a rat. I haven't quite decided what I want to call this. It's in our word, okay? But this rat is extraordinarily intelligent. It does realize that the trap would kill it, and so it doesn't go near the trap. There's peanut butter on that fucking trap, right? I mean,
I
you
bet
think that a
he
normal
probably
mouse
gets a little
go for it.
stick and gets the peanut butter through.
Yeah, they would
through
just, a normal mouse would just go for it, right? Right? No, not this mouse, man. No way. This mouse is not, that trap has been set for 3 nights now, and it has, every morning I get up and I go into the room and I think to myself, I'm going to see that rat, caught by the trap. No way.
Hey,
You know,
Bruce, have you tried glue traps?
glue tops?
Glue traps.
Glue tops?
Yeah.
No, what should I consider?
Basically, if you ask for traps for rats with glue, and I think they work very well and they are pretty cheap and effective.
Glue tops. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if this rat, if this rat is not responding to a trap with peanut butter on it, I don't think it's gonna respond to glue tops.
Maybe lettuce.
Well, lettuce is an option. It's already eaten all my plants.
I think Harris is onto something.
Okay.
I think Harris is onto something.
Okay. All right. I'm up to that. That's good. No problem.
I think he probably has got the right idea. But I'm not, expert in this kind of stuff.
I don't think anybody is. Who's an expert? I mean, I have a degree in wildlife biology, and I'm not even an expert.
I had a friend who had a pet rat, massive thing, and she loved it. It's like a really big rat friend that she had. Personally, I prefer cats.
I prefer cats. Makes sense. And it's been suggested to me that I get a cat because a cat would be a good, as they say, a mouser, and the cat would probably get this rat, and that's the next thing I'm gonna do. Okay, that's the next thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a cat. I like cats anyway. I mean, I'm fine with cats. No problem. Cats are even more independent than I am, which is sort of hard to believe.
Depending on the cat. Some cats will not go mousing at all. It depends
Right.
on very
You're right.
much.
You're right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I want to get a cat that's a mouser. I want to get a fierce cat that's a mouser. Yeah. So I mean, I'm going to talk to every one of them, and if I see them all, I'm going to go, "Are you a mouser? How fierce of a mouser are you?" Right? I'm going to talk with it, right? And when I get the answer that I want, then maybe I'll adopt this cat. Maybe. Cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
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 I got a nice fat drink here, and I'm really happy to be here. And thank you very much.
Okay, same thing goes for me, but I have to go now. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.
Harris, very nice to see you and to be here with you.
Nice to see you, Lizzie. Nice to
What
hear
time
you.
is it there, Harris?
It's 1:30 a.m.
1:30 a.m. Well, you can't just stay up any later for us?
I can, but I really have to go because all this talk about the cats, it made me realize that I need to tend to them. I have to. So,
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. I'm glad you were here. 1:30 a.m. I'm telling you, you're first class. You're first class, bro.
Thank you. You three too. Bye.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Lizzie's here kind of late also.
Well, where are you, Lizzie?
I'm on the other side of the pond.
Oh, you are on the other side of the pond. Yeah, I mean, I'm on this side of the pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm 3 hours later than Lenny. because I'm in Newport, Rhode Island. But you're where? You're in England?
Yeah, so I'm about 6 hours difference, I suppose,
Yeah, right.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Our time changes tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So be aware, we're going to spring ahead and we'll lose an hour of sleep and things will be not quite the same because I think you already changed your time, didn't you?
I don't have a clue.
Well,
I
you
have,
might have already,
I,
but we haven't
I,
yet.
I haven't got a clue, a foggiest at all. Unless if someone tells me, oh, this is going to happen, I don't, because all my gadgets, they change time on their own. I don't have the old-fashioned clocks that you had to kind of go. So if someone doesn't say, oh, the time is going to change, I will not know. Um, Actually, for me, time is very relative. I only know time if I have to be somewhere on a certain time. Apart from that, it doesn't really matter to me. So time is very relative to what I have or not to do.
Well, time is relative. Yeah, you're really, Lizzie. Let's be honest, okay? Here we are. We're human beings, right? Time was created by the Catholic Church. It was created by the Catholic Church
Okay.
so that people could get to mass on time and people could get to work on time. That's what time is all about. That time, okay? It's nothing to do with my time.
This time has nothing to do with that either. But I can see by my chronological time measuring device we're at just about an hour.
Oh yeah, it's 56 minutes. So,
yeah, so thank you both very much for being here. Thank the audience for being with us. And stay here while I just end the stream and we come back.
go
Thank
offline.
you, John. We identify with our live energy streams also. And I wish my kitty was in the room because it moderates my stream immensely. All right. Be well, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.